From the road, you can't see it. That's not an accident. The driveway cuts into the tree line and keeps going. Mixed hardwoods, pine, a full Carolina canopy before the clearing finally opens up and the cabin comes into view. 7.5 acres of woods, and the house sits right in the middle of it. And it's not just the cabin. Out in that clearing are 2 more structures, a full-size barn and a second building with its own power and water that change the entire value equation on this property. We'll get to those. Let's first look at the house itself. What you're looking at is 1713 Highway 191 outside Johnston, South Carolina. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and over 1,600 square feet, sitting on 7.54 wooded acres. It's listed at $289,900, and here's the kicker. The annual property tax on this parcel last year was just $303. But before you run the monthly math, there are things you must consider. First, let's take a look at how this thing was actually built. Now, the construction. Most listings that say log cabin are selling you a look. Lap siding, log profile paneling, veneer treatments over a conventional frame. This one is different. Southland Log Homes built this in 1986 using full round logs, structural, load-bearing, stacked. Run your hand along the exterior wall and you're touching the actual wall. Inside, same story. The living room has full round log walls on every side, exposed beam ceiling running the length of the space, and wide plank pine floors that have been here since the build. That room is 15 by 23 feet. It's a real living room. A wood-burning stove sits on a raised stone hearth in the corner, not decorative, genuinely used, and windows on 2 walls pull in enough light that the space never feels dark despite all the wood. What the photos don't fully prepare you for is the staircase. Open tread, log newel posts, and hand-twisted rope used as the balustrade instead of conventional spindles. Someone made a choice there. It's the kind of craftsmanship detail that costs real money to replicate, and most buyers scroll right past it without registering what they're seeing. But the craftsmanship inside this cabin isn't actually what makes this property hard to replace. That's still waiting for us outside. Let's finish the tour in here first. The kitchen is compact and honest about it. Knotty pine cabinets, tile countertop, a window over the sink. The appliances, range, dishwasher, refrigerator, are already in place, so you're not moving into an empty shell. It opens into the dining area so the cook isn't isolated, but if a large kitchen matters to you, this one will feel tight. That's worth knowing before you drive out. Just off that main level, the downstairs full bathroom keeps things classic. A clawfoot tub, the kind of detail some buyers search listings specifically to find, and the kind that either sells you on the spot or isn't your style at all. Upstairs, 2 bedrooms, both with the same wide plank pine floors and knotty pine tongue and groove walls as the rest of the cabin. One follows the roofline, which gives it an angled ceiling that reads as cozy rather than cramped. The other is more straightforward, with a closet and a barn-style interior door. The primary bath is larger than you'd expect for a house this size. 2 windows looking into the tree canopy, full tub and shower, a wide vanity, dated finishes, but nothing that's failing. Step back outside and the property starts to reveal what it actually is. There's a front covered porch, a rear covered porch, a screened porch with plank floors and wood beam ceiling, and a newer rear deck with fresh stained wide planks. 4 separate outdoor spaces. In a South Carolina summer or a mild Carolina winter, that's not a luxury, that's where you actually live. The screened porch is intimate rather than sprawling. At 15 by 8 feet, it's 3 open screened walls and green lawn visible through them with enough floor space for a small table and chairs. Now the part we teased at the start. Past the main cabin, the compound opens up. A gambrel-roofed barn, full-size, double swing doors, loft space above, sits in its own cleared area. Equipment, tools, livestock, storage, it handles it all. Then there's a second separate structure, a single-story building with its own entry, windows, sliding glass door, and ceiling fan. It's partially finished and needs work, but the infrastructure is there. Water, power, its own space. Whether that becomes a guest cabin for visiting family, a workshop, a studio, or something you haven't decided yet, that flexibility is already built into the land. 3 buildings, 7.5 wooded acres, a tax bill in the low hundreds. But here's the part that needs to be said plainly. This property is sold as is, conventional or cash financing only. FHA, VA, and USDA buyers will need to look elsewhere, and that's a real constraint for a portion of the audience. A 1986 build will have its share of deferred maintenance and small surprises once you're actually living in it. What changes that calculation? The roof was replaced in 2022. The HVAC was replaced in 2020. Those are the two systems that send rural buyers running, and both are already handled. Everything else is cosmetic or manageable. And remember that $303 tax bill. Even with an older build, the cost of just holding this land while you handle the rest is about as low as it gets.
Edgefield County and Sumter National Forest are both within a short drive, hiking, horse trails, hunting. Aiken is about 25 miles out for anything the area doesn't provide. Augusta is roughly 35 miles away if you need a bigger city. The buyer who belongs here already knows what they want to do with this land. They've been waiting for a property with enough structure already in place to start. Not a blank lot, not a renovation project, but a cleared piece of Carolina woods with 3 buildings in it and room to make each one into something. This is that property. What stays with me about this property isn't any single room, it's the clearing. You drive in through the woods, the canopy closes behind you, and suddenly there are 3 buildings laid out in front of you. The cabin, the second structure, the barn, and each one is waiting for someone to decide what it becomes. That's not something you can add to a property later. That's the land already doing the work. The trade-off here is real, cash or conventional only, and a 1986 build that will ask things of you over time. But with a recent roof, a newer HVAC, and 7.5 acres already cleared and built out, the hardest work is already done. If you like honest rural properties with this kind of privacy, you need to see the cabin we toured last week. It has a completely different approach to off-grid layout, and you can watch that tour right here.